Gerhard, it's nice to see you. Another international break with lots of exciting international football to enjoy as a neutral. Is it fair to say that the international break came at a good time for you and for your players? Just a chance to assess the injury situation.
Yes, I would say it was the right time to relax and recover. But right now we have some good trainings sessions behind us, and the boys are ready to come in good performances again.
So the big question, who, if anybody, is available from your treatment room for this weekend's game with Swansea?
Yeah, I think we have good news. Yeah, 90 is back. Bringy is back. Really good training sessions with us. So they are in the roster on the weekend, and with all the other injured players, I would say looks also a little bit brighter. So we have some players, they are very close to jump back, and we hope in the next few weeks we have, of course, a bigger selection in the end.
You've yet to see Cam Pring play a competitive match for Bristol City. Given his recent injuries, do you have to be very careful reintroducing him to your first team?
Yes, I think we have the last few months many topics with re-injuries, and right now I think we learn about it, and we have to bring the boys with the right time back on the field with the right load, and with 90, Jason Knight, and with Cameron Bring looks at the moment really good, and was also really good to see him on the field live. I had not so much sessions with him right now until I'm here, the coach, but what I could see from him is a very interesting player, high dynamic, exactly I think a football mindset, what I like, and so it's very good to see him also back.
And does the Watford game, coupled by Jason Knight's reintroduction to the first team, mean that Zach Viner's spell as a midfielder is slowly coming to an end and he'll be back in defence for Bristol City on a more regular basis?
Yeah, I think the good one is we learned with Zach Viner, he can also play in a midfield position on a really good level, but we know in which position he is really familiar, and he has a really good feeling and the best outcome in the end, and this is a centre back position. So we are very clear in this way. So yeah, when everything goes right, he will jump back in his position where he grow, and we will see how high will be the load for Knight in the next few weeks in the games, that we have him stable back on the field.
And any other business with injured players? Neto, Borges, Ross McCrory, Mark Sykes, what's their availability at the moment?
Ross looks really good. He's available on the weekend. With Sykes, we have to wait a little bit. He's not ready on the weekend, but looks really good for the Wrexham game. And Neto, he's back. He's good. He trained all the sessions in the last few days, and looks really good to be involved in the game on Saturday.
A lot of positivity at Watford, getting the point and a good performance as well. Not many people predicted your team in advance, playing Fally and Sinclair together up front. Did you do that out of necessity because of the players available, or would you have done that with a fully fit squad?
I think this is always depend on the performance, and of course also a little bit on the players' availability. Yeah. On the same time, we can see with different players, with different shapes, we are more unprotectable, and I think this is something what could help. Yeah. But on the same time, it's important also that the connection between the players, also the patterns against the ball, how we press synchronize, all the patterns in on-ball moments. We had in the last few months really good different shapes, but also different players on the field. But the connection together is something what I like, when players have a good understanding how it works together. And we right now, and I think the Watford game was a learning game, that we realized also in this shape with these players, this can work in a successful way.
And has the recent form of Sinclair been one of the big positives from the last few weeks for Bristol City?
Yes, I think not only him, but of course, I think he made a step, and he, with his appearances, with his effort, what he brings, and his strength on the field, he gives us a different key how we can break last lines from the opponents down, and yeah, his agility is on an outstanding level, and this is a really big weapon, and we have to use it. I hope the weapon is sharp on Saturday.
And at the other end of the pitch, we're going to speak to Radek today, your goalkeeper. Just talk to me about how pleased you've been with the way that he's, some are calling it his breakthrough season. How pleased have you been with him this season?
Yeah, of course, he's a really good goalkeeper with an outstanding profile in the here and now, but of course also much more in the future with his talent, but also with his presence, with his yeah, strength. I think a really interesting goalkeeper. Yeah, so for us, he's a big key also to be successful.
Saturday's a dangerous game, isn't it? Swansea are looking for a new head coach at the moment. I think just one league win since the start of October, but they'll bring a large crowd to Ashton Gate. What kind of test and challenge will they be for you on Saturday lunchtime?
Yeah, a big test. It's a really big test, and we know that Swansea has a lot of interesting players in the roster, and big strength. Also, when we look back the games, was very close, how they lose, how they don't have the success what they want. So and also a clear plan how they want to play in the past. So right now, without the coach, we don't know clear with which system, with which behaviors and principles they are want to come to us. But I think this is a really good moment to be sharp, extremely in our world of football, and focused on ourselves. What make us strong? What make us unprotectable? What make us in the end? Yeah, to be a really dangerous team on Saturday, and in this direction we work and prepare the boys.
Okay.
Just on that, how much does it impact your preparation? When is it a bit more focused on yourselves than it would be the opposition when you kind of don't know quite what to expect, I guess?
Yeah, yeah, makes a difference. So we don't know what is coming. On the same time, we know the team, and so so typical patterns from them. I think they cannot change everything. So we expect something, yeah, but maybe a little bit differently. These are exactly the moment where we have to be with ourselves and have a big concentration in our game style, and this is I think in the whole preparation of the week the most important task.
Touched on Cam Pring there. I'm just intrigued where you kind of view as his best positions. I think we've seen him as a left-sided centre back, a left wing back, more traditional left back. Where do you see him as someone who can play in all those positions, or do you have a specific plan where you'd like to see it?
Not now. I would say I see a player with a really good, very friendly with the ball, first of all, but also outstanding dynamic. So in this direction, and also I would say in the last few training sessions, I saw a player. He is really good in decision making, so also football intelligence on a really good level. Yeah, and the mix of them makes him interesting for more positions. Yeah, I will check the next few weeks in which position he can make the difference. But I'm really happy that he is back with this profile. I think very helpful player.
Quite a different profile to, I guess, Neto or Rob Atkinson in both those positions. Well, he's something completely different, again, which should only benefit you.
Yeah, I think this is really good to see that we have in the end different strength. Yeah, and when we mix that, then we have in the end unprotectable team on the field, and Bringy has of course something. Yeah, what he can bring on the table, what is really interesting.
When you have that sort of topic of re-injuries, like you said, and people picking up knocks, does that change from your mindset how you're going to maybe use a Jason like or Cam Pring? Is there things you feel you could do differently as a head coach to avoid those sort of issues?
Yeah, I think of course we have to deal with injured player on a better level, and in the last few months I was not happy how we deal with that, and I take more responsibility right now, and have in the end, of course, with players in this direction when they come back, a really close exchange, that we bring the coincidence on the bottom. So I think it's something what we have to change, how we bring players back. But with 90 at the moment, we made a really good job. The medical team, also the rehabilitation team. So they made a great job how they bring 90 back. So now it's the moment we have to do everything that he's stable back on the field, and in this direction, we need also a good exchange with the player.
I guess that's a difficult one for you, because we've heard you speak about Jason a lot, and I'm sure if you could, you'd pick in every minute of every game, but there's going to be important decisions to be made there to look after him as well.
Yes, I think this is, of course, over a whole season, one of the most important things, that the team is successful. You have a big squad, and every single player is available. So in this direction, we have to look. And we have not so a big roster like other teams. So we have to make in our departments an outstanding job in this direction, that we have in the end the players available. And I would say, when we do here a great job in the future, that we realize in the end more success is crystal clear.
Two of the other players mentioned that injury update with Joe Williams and Luke McNally being a bit further behind. Away from the injuries, just emotionally, how are they? I imagine that must be really difficult for them.
Yes, for them it's really difficult. We do everything that we support both players on a really good level, and do everything in the end that they come back soon as possible. But they had in the end big injuries, and also connected with big surgeries. So we have to do everything that they come back in the right time frame, and also stay in the end stable on the field. I think we need patience, and we have to be patient in this direction, and realized they had big injuries.
The other bit of news that came out early international break was Luke Skinner coming back from his loan with Eastleigh. I just wondered if that's a decision you being involved in, or whether it's more academy side and what the plan is for him.
The blame comes more from the academy. Of course, they let me know about it, what they want, but it's also an interesting player. So I watched some clips about him, how he grew the last few months. So could be also a very close and interesting player for us. So I have to look how it works right now in the academy, also in the under-21s. But I saw him the one or other training with us. So it's a really interesting young player with talent.
So the plan B for now for him to stay more in house for now?
Yeah, we will see. But we have to be flexible in this direction. But I would say right now it's better he stay with us, and then we look what is the best in the near future for him.
In terms of the freshness of the group, I think when we spoke after the Watford game, you said that was a really big key thing for you over the international break. Do you feel, from what you've seen, this is a group now, because it's such a long slog of games, isn't it, through to March, ready to really get stuck into that?
Yes, I think this is so the challenge, to write down sometimes different stories in a game. I like it when we have in the end the opponent under pressure. We give them no space, no time, and we control, and with pressing the game. But also sometimes we have to deal differently when you have maybe not the freshest legs on the planet. So, and we realized in the last few weeks, I would say, also good performances in a little bit different behavior. Right now we are fresh, ready, and we don't should wait on Saturday or in the next games to be passive. So it's right now the time for proactive moments, and we want to start, or I would say we will start on Saturday with our typical style.
From you and your staff's point of view, how do you sort of break down this block? This so far has been quite easy, hasn't it, between international breaks to almost look at a set of fixtures. How do you approach this block now? Do you kind of look to Christmas and then start again, or how does that work?
Yeah, I think we need a little bit, I would say, different periodization. We have, of course, many games. I think until in the end of December we have 9 games. Yeah? So this means we have the one or other week where we have only 1 game. And in this week we have to look on our periodization, how we make it a little bit differently. Yeah? That we bring the load down in weeks like that and be, of course, on the game day always sharp like a knife. So in this direction we have to think about it, yeah? How we have in the end always players on the highest level available. And I would say the training sessions could change a little bit from the load in weeks like that.
Just finally for me, it's not quite a Anglo-Welsh derby, that it's a bigger game for supporters maybe than others. Does your approach change at all when there's a little bit of a rivalry there between the two clubs?
I like that, first of all, that we have in the end atmosphere in the stadium with a revival. Yeah, so it's not so easy here to find the right revivals. Yeah, Swansea is one of them, and I like that. I am very excited about this game, about the atmosphere in the Ashton Gate, when we have in the end also many away fans in our stadium, and we can show them what's going on when the boys are sharp. Yeah, so it's a really good moment to step back from the international break and show what we can bring on the field. And yeah, I'm very excited for the game on Saturday.
Good luck Saturday.
Yeah, on the international break front, obviously Alex Scott got, not your player, but Alex Scott got a call up for England. Anton Semenyo's been playing international football now, being linked to the move to Man United. The reason I ask about that is because I'd like you to talk to us about the importance of youth development, of talent development at Bristol City, because they do it in a really good way. What, can you sum up why it's so successful?
Yeah, I would say this is always a consequence from, in the end, a really good development program in the academy here, and also how you can deliver academy players in the under-21s and from the under-21s with the right process in the first team. And I would say in the last few years, Bristol City did a really good job in this way. So step by step to develop players, and with different platforms. The academy, you have the under-21s, but also I would say the management here decide in a really good direction also to bring maybe the one or other player in a loan position, and they grow more in this way. So we have to be also in the here and now and in the future always very clear with which player we want to develop here in our world, but also some players, they need maybe a little bit a different resilience, and then a loan club is also very helpful. So in more directions we have to deal in the here and now and in the future, and then we have the next really good players on this level. Yeah, so I know these players, yeah, and maybe in the end we could be also a little bit the profiteur from a big transfer.
Well, can you just sum up your working relationship with Brian Tinnion? Because I know previous managers generally work closely with him. Can I ask you about that?
Yeah, I would say we are in a really good exchange about our young players and how is his picture, and especially also his network is really helpful in the end to find for the academy players, for the under-21 players, the clubs between, when it's maybe too early, that they can jump in the first team. And of course we need a plan for every single player, and I would say Brian Tinnion has a really good feeling for players, a really good eye for players, how we developed them. Is this in the academy, in the under-21s, yeah, best case with me, yeah, but also long clubs help us, and the network from Brian is of course a really good turbo.
Okay, thank you. Talking of development of young players, Radek Vitek, obviously he's done really well. The fans love him, but at Stoke he made a really high-profile mistake in front of the TV cameras. How have you helped him recover?
Bah, I would say nothing special. I think mistakes is in this direction. I like a little bit the American view about mistakes. Here in Europe is always so, oh, mistakes, it's a problem. I would say this is completely normal that when something happened like that, what he did, was a mistake. He know it, everyone knows it, but the reaction after the mistake show me his personal quality. And this is always when players they are ready to make mistakes, they have trust in themselves, they believe, and then something happened, mistakes coming, and he's learn and growing. And in this direction I can see he's not only a really good goalkeeper, he is also a goalkeeper. He can deal with mistakes and he can handle this very simple. And I would say I would make a big mistake when I go in a really big discussion right now about him, about one mistake. Absolutely not. We go in our normal process. We train really hard with him, and also he is ready to train really hard. And we should think about mistakes much more. How important he was in all the games right now for us, and how many outstanding good moments he has. So it's not I would say a topic of mistakes. It's much more a topic of it's a outstanding, great young goalkeeper.
Okay. Do you know, have you been told whether or not you're going to keep him for the full season, or if Manchester United, have you had any indication from Manchester United whether they want him back in January?
Yeah, I'm in exchange with Manchester United. So we have also here a really good exchange, and they have also a high appreciation about him. On the same time, I think all parties realized how important is it for him to have game time, and only the game time made him right now, or bring him right now in this direction. And I would say Bristol City is an outstanding, great partner at the moment for Radek. And also when I go in exchange with him, his feedback is also he has a really high appreciation that he can play here. He has outstanding fun to play in the Ashton Gate for our fans. So in more directions, of course we have a contract with the one or other clause, but in the end, the reality at the moment speaks so much more for him that he stay here, like some contract clauses.
Okay. Do you speak to Ruben Amorim about that, or is it just this scouts?
No, this is
the coaches.
Yes, was not a conversation with Ruben. This was a conversation with the management from Manchester United. They follow, of course, very close his development, and they are very happy about it. But they realized also how good is it that they have in the end the goalkeeper in a development and a club like Bristol City.
Right. Okay. Just quick on Ross McCrory. Obviously he's going to be very, very happy today, but I see he was pulled out of the Scotland squad ahead of their biggest games in years and years. What was the thinking behind withdrawing him from the squad? Because it looks to now as if you've done him a favour, because he's going to be fit for the World Cup, hopefully.
Yeah.
Can you just talk us through the sort of process of?
Yeah. So of course he has in the last game against Watford he has a little bit problems. So also he go in this game with I would say with not with an injury, but in the end with high risk that something could happen. And after the game he was completely empty, and he has really big problems. So, but on the same time, he decided together with his agent, it's not the moment to go. The risk would be too high that something happened. So for him was super important that he has a little bit rest. So he couldn't help Scotland in this direction. The timing was not the best. But right now and today, of course, I give him a big hug and a congratulation for Scotland. He also was really happy for Scotland and for his team. Yeah, the World Cup means a lot for him, for Scotland. I think that the stadium yesterday is fly away. With the goals what they score. By the way, Austria also goes in the or went in the World Cup yesterday. Also, the stadium in Vienna was outstanding. So also a great moment in Austria yesterday in the world of football. But we are super happy for Ross that he is in the end maybe a player in the summer in the World Cup.
Great, and Jason Knight as well, hopefully, and Radek, he knows.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Gerhard, can you just give me a bit of a feeling? You know, obviously, when it's been an international break, it's a long time in between matches. What's the feeling here at the training ground? Is it good vibes?
Yes, really good vibes. I would say, especially I would say, normally of course we want to win every game, and we do everything for that. But I would say the Watford game, so always the last game before you jump in an international break is a little bit the trigger for the mood. And we create a point there. So that of course the standard here is right now we have to win away at home. But I would say this point and more the performance give every single player with all the barriers at the moment, with injuries, gives us all a really good feeling. And the atmosphere here, I would say, is always on a good level, but especially the last 2 weeks, the boys, I would say they come every day here with a really good feeling.
And is that helped by the return of two big characters in Jason Knight and Cambry being close to first team action again?
Yes, I think this makes, of course, also a difference when we realize that key players come back. So we have in the end so many starter players not available at the moment, and right now Bring and 90 they come back. This makes, of course, also something with the mood, so that we have in the end a better selection, and of course next to them that we have a good performances after the last few weeks. Also good, I would say we are in the table very close to interesting spots, and we bring players back. I would say the mix of them makes the mood better.
Now, obviously, with those injuries, I guess it's given an opportunity to players to, as you say, come in and perform. A lot of those players are actually new this season, aren't they? You know, you think about Adam Randall coming in, I guess maybe for Jason, and then Neto for Cam, and obviously Radek and Emil Rees up top as well. With all of those players playing so many minutes, how do you think they have all settled? Has it been a fantastic arrival for all four of them?
Yeah, I think it's always really good when you have in the end every single player with a good game load. So everyone realized right now we miss so many players, and on the same time we can be also really strong. So this means we have a really good roster. And when everyone is available, this was always my answer, then we are really dangerous team in the league. So, but of course we have to do everything that we have in the end the roster on a good level available, and then I think it's really difficult against us. So we have on every level really good players with the right hunger. With, I would say, also the spirit in this group is on a really high level. So the togetherness, generally the each other, how we work each other here with the staff, with the players. The mood in the first team is on a really good level, and this makes over a whole season also this can make a difference.
Finally, you mentioned that rivalry with Swansea for support to ahead of Saturday. What's your message to the fans?
Support us like always. So the feeling with our fans is really connected, and give us noise, give us the biggest noise what you can on Saturday. So we will, of course, start with fire. We will show from the first second that we are ready for a massive opponent. But we need the fans. We need them behind us. We need them in all phases in this game behind us with a really big noise and with the energy like always.